Hello, Namibia, and a very warm welcome to yet another session here at the Government Information Center. My name is Joanna Otoni, and I will be your host for this afternoon's special edition. In this episode, we are going to actually focus and replay one of the sessions that was held on the 18th of May this year. And the title for this discussion was Pottery. Just a second. It was titled Market Entry and Aid for Pottery Farmers in Namibia. In this very episode, we actually focus on the various regulations of importing pottery feeds in the country and also the various aid that the government of Namibia is giving to our local pottery farmers to ensure that at least they are helped in this whole process. But before we replace today's session, I would want to give the platform to Honorable Dr. Peamu Shalanga to give us the cabinet update for today. Honorable.
Thank you very much, viewers and listeners. I'm going to announce cabinet decisions that were issued at the 10th decision-making cabinet meeting that was held on the 28th of June, 2022. First decision: decentralization of certain functions of the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service to regional councils. Cabinet approved the decentralization of the identified functions, that is youth empowerment and development, sport promotion and support, and planning and development of the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service to regional councils with effect from the 1st of July 2022. Cabinet approved that the current budget, the operational budget of the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service regional offices be utilized to cover the costs involved in the decentralization process and be transferred to the regional councils on quarterly basis. Cabinet further directed the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development in consultation with the Ministry of Youth, Sport and with the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service to enhance coordination of the identified functions among all affected offices, ministries and agencies at national and regional levels. And Cabinet directed the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service to consider the review of the staff complement of Kavango West region to ensure gradual alignment of the staff establishment with other regions. Second decision: propose reforms to the process on the sale of primary homes in execution of judgment debts. Cabinet approved in principle the recommendations emanating from the stakeholder engagements held with members of the Bankers Association of Namibia, Law Society of Namibia, and homeowners, and directed the Ministry of Justice in consultation with the Office of the Attorney General and other relevant stakeholders to accelerate the amendments of the applicable laws in order to address the prevalent state of primary homes and properties used as primary homes which are being sold in execution of judgment debts. Third decision: request for approval on interim relief measure for second-hand vehicle industry on age restriction under the prevailing economic conditions. Cabinet took note of the prevailing global economic situation and its effect on Namibia economic sectors and industry. Cabinet approved the granting of temporary relief measure for a period of 2 years and 12 years age restriction to the industry, and Cabinet directed the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade to undertake annual assessment that will necessitate the removal of the 2 years relief measure. Fourth decision: total allowable catch for the Cape Full Seal for the 2022 fishing season from the 1st of July 2022 to the 15th of November 2022. Cabinet approved the total allowable catch for the Cape Fair seal for the 2022 fishing season as reflected as follows. PAP's total allowable catch be set at 60,000 and divided in the ratio of 70 and 30 for northern and southern colonies respectively. And the bull's total allowable catch be set at 8,000 bulls and be divided into a ratio of 70 and 30 for northern and southern colonies respectively. Fifth decision. Key outcomes of the 75th session of the World Health Assembly. Cabinet took note of the key outcomes of the above-mentioned session of the World Health Assembly and endorsed the proposed actions as reflected as follows. To increase member states' assessed contributions incrementally with aspiration to have them cover an amount of equal to 50% allowed of the approved base budget for the biennium 2022 to 2023 by the entire biennium 2030 to 2031. The current assessed contribution from member states only covers about 20% of the approved base budget, while the rest is covered by donor funding. And the establishment of an agile member state group on strengthening World Health Organization's budgetary, programmatic, and financing governance to analyze challenges in governance for transparency, efficiency, accountability, and compliance. Sixth decision. Signing of the Cooperation on Trade in Bovine and Bovine Meat and Meat Product between the Government of the Republic of Namibia and the Republic of Angola. Cabinet authorized the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform to sign the cooperation agreement in trade in bovine and bovine meat and meat product between Government of the Republic of Namibia and the Republic of Angola. And Cabinet directed the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Forestry to spearhead the implementation of the cooperation agreement in line with the provisions of Article 5 of the said agreement. Seventh decision. Signature and ratification of the revised Georgetown Agreement establishing the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. Cabinet authorized the Minister of Industrialization and Trade to table the revised Georgetown Agreement of 2019 in the National Assembly for ratification. And Cabinet directed the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade to liaise with the Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation to prepare the instrument of accession and to deposit such instrument with the Secretariat of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States in Brussels, Belgium, as required by Article 40 of the revised agreement once ratified by Parliament. Here ends Cabinet decisions briefing, and I thank you.
Namibia, there was our cabinet briefing for today. We are now going to replay the session of the 18th of May as earlier alluded. We cross over to the NBC TV.